I've known this actor and singer and wonderful personality for a very long time. His name is Maurizio Martinez, and he was in On Your Feet, the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, and many more. He is a prolific singer that sings both in Spanish and in English. Maurizio, hi, how are you?
Hello, I am so happy to be connected to you today, my
Me
dear
too.
Susanna. Thank you.
So I know you're doing a show at 54 Below.
Yes,
Tell us
yes, I
about the
am.
show, first of all.
Well, yes, it's a Sunday, February 4th. It's my album release concert. It's the same concert that I did last year 3 times. The first time I did it was in March. And then it was sold out and it got great reviews. And one of the reviews said that it should be an album. So I am very obedient. So me and my wonderful friend and co-writer and director, Robbie Roselle, who's also the producer of the album, decided to do an encore, 2 performances in October, which were also sold out, thankfully. And we recorded the live album, and now we're releasing the album on Sunday, February 4th at 54 Below, where it was recorded. So it's a perfect bookend to a fabulous year with this amazing show.
Let's talk about this show first.
Yes.
How many songs do you do? Because one of my favorite things that you do is when you sing in Spanish and then you
Oh,
sing English. So which one
yeah.
are you doing some of those?
Yeah, well, I do music of the night from the Phantom of the Opera in
Oh,
Spanish, and I dedicate that to my mom because that's my
oh,
mom's
I
dream
remember
role for
that.
me. Yeah. So that's a very special moment that I have in the show, that I dedicate to my mom, and it's very personal, and it's obviously a song in my language, which makes turns the number into a more personal, more intimate feeling, and the show is called 511 based in New York, which is the first words that every actor has to do or has to say when you slate. A slate, for those of you who don't know, is when you're doing a self tape. First, you got to say your name, your height, and where you're based, and that is called the slate. Before you audition for anything, a movie, a musical, whatever, you have to say, "Hi, my name is such and such. I am this height, and I am based in this city." So my slate is, my name is Mauricio Martinez. I'm 5'11", and I'm based in New York. So the show is called, obviously, 5'11", based in New York.
That's I once had to do a slate for a commercial,
Oh
and
God. Yeah.
the commercial was with two kids because I was up for the young mom, and the kids said their age. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, my name, and then I say my age, and they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, yeah, really, I am. And I get this call back from my agent, and my agent's like, you want the good news or the bad news? Like, okay, good news. He's like, you're called back. I'm like, oh, good. I'm like, what's the bad news? He goes, you got called back for the cheerleader. And I was
Oh.
so I
Not the young
actually
mom, right?
not the young mom. They thought I looked way younger.
Hey, but they called you back, so that's good, right? Yeah.
I had to audition against like all these 18-year-olds. I was like 30. Um,
Right.
all these 18, I got it.
That's good. You
And I
booked
was
that
like,
role.
okay,
Yeah.
now why can't this be like that now? Right.
Right.
Um, are you doing some Enchanted Evening again on
Uh,
this?
no, no, no. I do If Ever I Would Leave You from Camelot. And
Uh-huh.
I do All I Ask of You. All I Care About Is Love from Chicago. I
Okay.
also do a villain medley from a bit of Moulin Rouge and Jekyll and Hyde, A Little Shop of Horrors, and The Lion King. And I do a Latino medley, which has Evita, Kiss of the Spider Woman, and Man of La Mancha, of course. And what else? I do King George from Hamilton, which is a lot of fun to do. I do some Sondheim. I do Another 100 People from Company, and I also do a beautiful ballad from Merrily We Roll Along called oh God, what's the name of the song?
Been going? Oh, not
Uh
a day goes by.
no, 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 no. It's oh wow. Good Thing Going, it's called. Good Thing Going. Yes. Good Thing Going. Which is such a beautiful song, and it's also very personal because it talks about friendships that have parted ways in a way. And obviously, we all have those stories. So it becomes very personal. It's a very personal show. Obviously, we do it with a very comedic light and everything. But it also has um, some melancholic or nostalgic numbers, that turn more personal. So I like that, and I'm very happy that we were able to record these two shows in October. We're currently finishing the mix and to get everything ready, and we'll have the album ready. Only digital because nobody has CD players anymore, which is so sad for
No,
me.
Magda was
Um,
telling me about this great thing where
yeah.
you give them a card and there's that QR code, and then
Yes.
yeah, is that what it is?
Yes, that's what we're gonna have, and also,
Love that.
well, you can just go to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever platform you use and just download the album, and that's the way to download albums now.
I
Uh,
like the version
yeah,
of card though that you buy the card and then just put it on your phone.
yeah, yeah. You have it in your phone, which is nice, right?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
I would actually listen. You know,
exactly.
it's so funny. I spent so much time in my life listening to albums or CDs or
Yeah,
tapes, and now I don't because it's not as simple as it was before.
right,
Oh, it's
right.
bad.
It has its pros and cons, I mean, in one part, I remember moving when I was obviously a CD and an album collector and a cassette collector in the
Yeah,
80s when I was a kid. And every time I would move, carrying all that was obviously
exactly.
heavy. And now you just have it in your phone. So yeah, it has its pros and cons, but obviously I do miss the vinyl and like the old days, I'm an old school. I'm an old soul, I guess.
I'm seriously old school. Do you remember when you would
Yeah.
get the album and it would smell like
Oh
the
yes, of course. You would take it out and the
yeah,
paper and yeah, and I would read the credits and the lyrics, who
right.
wrote the song, who mixed the
Absolutely.
album. Yeah, everything. It was very educational for me because I knew I wanted to do this. So it was eye opener and it was inspiring. So yeah, times have definitely changed. That's for certain. Yeah.
I have a question because
Yes.
maybe I don't know this and maybe it's out there. And if I don't know it, then it means other people don't know it. Are you doing any shows right now? Is there any shows coming up in your future?
You mean the musicals?
Yeah.
Well, I have this other album that comes out in March 4th, just a month away after my album comes out, which is called Figaro. And it is an original new musical written by a beautifully talented young woman named Ashley Jana. And I play the title role of Figaro in the recording. And the plan is to take it to the West End in the end of the year, towards the end of the year. So if all
Brilliant.
goes as planned, I will be in London this time next year, starring in Figaro. So we'll see. But
What?
actors' lives, how our lives are ever changing, and you never know. But I would love to do that. Of course, I would love to be in London because I was this close of going to do Evita in 2020, and of course, then the pandemic hit and the world stopped, and that project was canceled. So yeah, I would love to play the West End at least once in my life. I would love to be over there.
Are you doing any TV and film?
Yes, I just finished a TV show in Mexico that should probably stream in the summer of 2024. And right now I'm in callbacks for another one. So keep your fingers crossed. There's also a movie there that's like in the horizon and lots of concerts. I'm very blessed to have lots of concerts throughout the year with this new show and new album. And I have a press tour coming up. I'm going to go to Mexico City. I have a big concert in Monterrey, Mexico, which is my hometown. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Spain. I'm going to Miami to promote the album and do shows. And yeah, I'm very happy. Happy to be back. I just got back from almost 2 months of being away from New York because I got a hip replacement. I got a new hip.
Did you? I got
Yes, I have a new
you.
hip.
Those are good.
I have a new hip and I'm a new man. Yeah.
I would have never thought you would have ever needed one.
There you go. I'm a four-time cancer survivor, bladder cancer. And the first time I got radiotherapy in my bladder 13, almost 14 years ago now. It's wild how fast goes by. Almost 14 years ago, really wore out the bones in my hip. So I thought it was sciatica, and I was walking around limping in New York, and you can't really do that. And yeah, the doctor I got an MRI, and he said, nope, it's time to change your hip. And so I picked the month of December to be back home with family and rest. And yeah, I just got back. Literally, this is my second morning in my apartment. I just got back, literally. So
Wow, I've known you all this time and I did not know that.
there you go. You
Wow,
learn something new every day. See?
I know, really, even for today. Are you still working with Jaime and writing
Yes,
songs?
we have a concert coming up in April.
Mhm.
And well, he's writing Frida, the musical. I believe there's gonna be a reading soon. That I'd love to be part of that musical, obviously. And we still have another show that I'm pushing forward called Present Perfect that I'm trying to get produced. So yeah, I mean, Jaime and I are best friends. We're buddies. We're family. We're collaborators. We're partners in crime. I
La
love him, and
Familia.
I'm very grateful that he always thinks of me and invites me to his adventures. Yeah.
You're part of the La Familia.
La Familia, yes, which is an honor to be a part of. What a talented group of Latino performers. And it's an honor to be part of it. Yeah.
We just interviewed Florencia. So,
Florencia, yeah, who's having her 54 Below debut just
yes,
a couple of days after me, I think. I'll be there, of course,
but
with a mariachi.
she also just did, a brand new
Yeah,
show.
the Real Women Have Curves, which I
Yeah.
saw. I wasn't able to
Oh,
go
did
to
you get to
Boston
see
to
it?
see it, but I got to see a rehearsal here in New York before I left.
Oh, wow.
It's a great show. I really hope it gets transferred to Broadway. I think Broadway needs a show like that. The subject matter is important. The music is beautiful. Obviously, the culture that they represent is my culture, so it's very it's an honor to watch these shows and very inspiring. And I hope it gets transferred because I think it would do a lot of good. We need stories like that. We need uplifting stories right now
I agree.
and more representation. That's why I can't stop working. I can't stop creating. I have to be out there and remind everyone that Mexicans are here to stay.
You also didn't you had a massive soap opera career in Mexico, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I don't know if massive, but I did have a telenovela career for over a little bit over 10 years, where I usually played bad guys. So that was
Did
fun.
you really?
Because I got to push a lot of people down the stairs and slap a lot of people, and you don't get to do that in real life.
You're a pussycat.
But it was fun. It was fun. But yes, I paid my bills in Mexico City for a little bit over 10 years doing telenovelas, which is the Spanish soap operas, Mexican soap operas. That it's basically just like a soap opera with a little bit more overacting, and the hair is bigger, and yeah.
What in your oh, 2 things. What in your career haven't you done that you'd like to?
I love to do more film. I love to do more film. I haven't really done a lot of film. I've done a couple of films. I would love to venture into that more. I'd love to do more TV in English as an actor, working English in television. I want to be back on Broadway, of course. But that I haven't done. I mean, I'm writing. I've been writing. I really need to get to that more and do conferences. I think we're in a time right now where people need inspiration, especially young
Absolutely.
ones. They need to be inspired and reminded that it is possible to make your dreams come true. It is possible to survive cancer, to survive all the tests that life throws at you. So I think I should definitely work on that more, and that's where I want to do. I would love to direct also in the near future. I think I've done enough to know, and I would love to venture into that in the near future. So we'll see. There's a lot of possibilities. The beauty of this is that um, our careers don't really have an expiration date. I think creativity doesn't age really, and there's always going to be grandfathers. So hopefully, as an actor, I'll be acting for the rest of my life. And as a singer, I don't really have an age. I'm always a singer. So yeah, I always pull from my own life. So as long as I'm here, I'll be working. Yeah.
Now I know why we've been friends all this time.
I know ever since Children of Salt, right?
exactly. So I
which
think it's like
which is
7.
gonna be 8 years this summer. Can you believe it? eight
Oh,
years
it's
this
8
summer.
years this summer?
Yes, that was 2016. That was the summer of 2016. Wow, a lot has happened since there. Since then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
we're
know.
still here.
Who know? And I know, and Jaime even allowed me to call him Jamie for, like, 7 of those
For
years.
yeah, for like a couple of years, remember? Yeah.
Oh, long, long. He
It
never
took a while.
corrected me.
Oh, he's so sweet. Yeah.
I agree.
So sweet.
Last question, unless I can
Yes.
say something else after this. If you had to describe a song or cycle of songs that describes who you are, what is it?
Ooh, a cycle of songs that describe who I am.
Well, because sometimes
Wow.
one song is not enough.
Yeah.
So you can have one or several.
Wow, that's a very good question. I mean, if you come see the show,
Mhm.
the song cycle that Robbie and I picked, it's really me. Like I'm there. Every single song is there for a reason. They're all very different. Of course, there's big ballads because I'm a ballad singer. I love to sing ballads.
And
But
you're
there's
good.
funny moments. There's songs in Spanish. There's yeah, I think there's a little bit of every part of me that I have. There's the TV side and the villain side, and there's the dreamer side, and there's the son, there's the lover, the friend, um, the dreamer, the artist. Yeah, I think 511 based in New York, or now it's called as an album, it's gonna be called Mauricio Martinez Live in NYC, live in New York City. I think that song cycle really defines me and who I am. They're all Broadway tunes, but they really do define who I am.
You can see Maurizio Martinez February 4th at 54 Below. Be there. I'll be there. Magda, who's recording this, will be there. Jane Alyssa, our friend, will be there. Jaime Lizamo, Florencia, his lovely wife. This is going to be a happening. See you at
Yeah.
54 Below.